number 2, Zach Peterson. Number 4, Danye Grant. Number 5, Jaha Jackson. Number 12, Rashid Daniels. And number 24, Ashraf Yacoub. And now the starting lineup for Freed-Hardman University. Point guard number 0, Quan Lax. Forward number 2, Peyton Law. Forward number 3, Hunter Spurlock. Guard number 13, Riley McLaren. And in the middle, a forward number 33, Devin Tomlinson.
Good afternoon once again from the University of St. Francis for game number 2 of today's St. Francis New Year's Classic doubleheader. Day 1 of 2 in this event. 2 days, 4 games just prior to the start of 2024, and this one pits East-West University against Freed-Hardman University. We're underway. My name is Terry Bonadonna on the call for today's game as the tip is won and the first possession taken by the Lions of Freed-Hardman, the 11th ranked team in the country. Wears white today as the home side officially. East-West in navy blue. They'll be going from left to right. Three-pointer misses from Riley McLaren. And the rebound is grabbed by East-West. Starters for the Phantoms today, Zach Patterson, Danye Grant, Jaha Jackson, Vashawn Daniels, and Ashraf Yakubu. This is Daniels passing off to Patterson. Just over half the shot clock used up. Patterson picks up his dribble. He's looking for help. Finds it from Danye Grant. Jaha Jackson, 5 seconds to shoot. Three-pointer is blocked by by Hunter Skurlock. Skurlock tries for the layup on the other end, but Jackson fouls him. So Skurlock gets Jackson with the blocked shot. Jackson tries to get him back, but he gets more arm than ball. And so Skurlock is going to the free throw line. Quan Lax, Peyton Law, Hunter Skurlock, Riley McLaren, and Devin Tomlinson. Those are your starters for Freed-Hardman. 9-2 record on the season. First free throw is good from Skurlock. 10-2 record, sorry. They've won their last 5 games consecutively. 2 free throws for Skurlock. Now a little full court press from the Lions. Danye Grant in the backcourt. Lobs it across the timeline, gets it to Jackson. Good ball movement from the Phantoms. Open three-pointer from the corner is no good from Vashawn Daniels. And the ball is lost out of bounds to East-West. The Phantoms will stick with it. Fresh 20 on the shot clock. East-West didn't have to come far. They play their home games downtown, as that's a layup for Ashraf Yakubu, and the first points of the game for East-West. Tied up at 2. Actually, I don't believe East-West has a home gym. They do most of their play on the road. They travel mostly around the Chicago area, but their campus is located down in the South Loop of Chicago. Three-pointer for McLaren. Got it. Riley McLaren has his first 3, first field goal for Freed-Hardman. There's Vashawn Daniels. Daniels bounces it to Yakubu. Yakubu turns into a double team. Ball knocked loose. Kept in bounds. Good body control by Quan Lax. Here come the Lions. Freed-Hardman up from Tennessee. Out of the Mid-South Conference. First time they've been here for this event. Three-pointer for Skurlock is good. The Lions are heating up from the outside. Back-to-back three-pointers for Freed-Hardman. They lead 8-2. Danye Grant has the ball knocked away by Quan Lax. Out of bounds, it'll stay with East-West. Freed-Hardman has 8 points. They've come on a couple of three-pointers and a couple of free throws. Balanced scoring team as Quan Lax takes the ball away. One-on-one, Lax over Danye Grant, no good. And Lax is called for the foul on the rebound. Quan Lax got the steal on the inbounds play. And then he took it one-on-one with Grant. Good defense by Danye Grant. Lax elected not to wait for reinforcements, decided to take it in when he had the chance at one-on-one, and it did not go his way. Lax averages 12 points per game. That's the most among today's starters. Ball out of bounds, and it'll go the other way. Freed-Hardman will take possession. As I was saying a moment ago, this is just such a balanced scoring team. Nobody averages more than 13.3. It's J.J. Wheat leading the squad, but they've got 5 players in double figures. Hunter Skurlock's got 5 of the first 8 today for the Lions. This is McLaren. McLaren up with the left, no good. Offensive rebound, Tomlinson. Devin Tomlinson misses underneath. Another offensive rebound. Skurlock grabs it, keeps it alive to Quan Lax. Back over to Skurlock. Skurlock drives, spins, banks, no good. Tomlinson is fouled fighting for the rebound. Foul is called on Jahad Jackson. And it'll send Devin Tomlinson to the free throw line. Just the second game that Tomlinson's been on the floor for this year. And the junior forward makes the first free throw. Transfer from Southwestern Community College. Has added a little spark to the lineup that didn't need the help so much. They were off to a great start to the season without him. But an extra weapon for Drew Stutz in his 5th season as head coach at Freed-Hardman. And a traveling violation is called. Zach Patterson couldn't keep his feet against the full court press of the Lions. Just over 3 minutes into the action. Freed-Hardman 4 of 4 from the free throw line. They've got an 8-point lead. Skurlock over to Tomlinson. McLaren passes around. Good ball movement. Tomlinson in the corner. A little bit short, and it hit the backboard, or hit the shot clock, I should say, above the backboard. So it's out of bounds. There's nothing against hitting the backboard. That's allowed. Patterson hits it off the foot of McLaren and out of bounds. It'll stay with East West. Inbounded to Danye Grant. Jahad Jackson gets it across half court. Patterson slows it down, lets his teammates get set on offense. 15 to shoot as he makes his move to his left. Hand off to Grant, nearly taken away by McLaren. Sticks with it though, it's Danye Grant on the drive. Grant's pass is intercepted by Skurlock. Peyton Law layup is good. First points today for Peyton Law. Freed-Hardman is on a 10-0 run. And a steal. It's Law, 2-on-1, lobs it for Skurlock, who can't finish on the layup. Law can't finish on the second chance. 2 good opportunities there for Freed-Hardman. Neither one of them pays off, but now McLaren gets the steal. Pokes it off to Lax. Quan Lax lays it in. Defense for Freed-Hardman has been impressive so far. 12-0 run, and a lot of those points have been spurred on by turnovers. Another steal. It's Tomlinson jumping the pass this time. Devin Tomlinson is fouled by Danye Grant. That's going to be number 2 on Grant. $15:23 to play in the first half. Already a 12-point lead for Freed-Hardman. This game was tied at 2 after the first couple of possessions, but 12 unanswered points for the Lions. 2 of them have come from Devin Tomlinson at the free throw line. He's going to try to add 2 more. First one is good. He's got 3 points, had 4 in his season debut. Geraldo Lane is in, and J.J. Wheat as well for Freed-Hardman. Those are their 2 leading scorers this year. Not too many teams you're going to see pull their top 2 scorers off the bench 5 minutes into the game, but that's exactly what Drew Stutz has done here. He also brings Chase Fiddler in. Fiddler is not one of the top 2 scorers. In fact, Chase Fiddler has only scored 5 points all season. It's only his 2nd game played. 16-2 lead. 14 unanswered from Freed-Hardman, who is a perfect 8 of 8 from the free throw line. Jaha Jackson on the baseline, spins, shoots, no good. A high arcing shot, Fiddler might have gotten a piece of it. Swung around, Phil Horton. Horton tries the 3, off the pass from Law, no good. Offensive rebound, Lane. Fiddler back over to Horton. Horton pulls up in the paint, shoots and scores. 16 straight for Freed-Hardman. First points of the game for Phil Horton. Zach Patterson off the pass from Tariq Roper. Gives it back to Roper. Roper, pull-up jumper. Rolls around the rim, does not fall. Long drought continues for East-West. Drive and the layup is good. Geraldo Lane has his first 2. Lane came into play today averaging 12.8 points per game. Tariq Roper trying to create for East-West. Gives it up to Zach Patterson. Here's Jaha Jackson on the drive. Jackson works his way inside, scores, and a foul. First points for East-West in over 5 minutes. That snaps an 18-0 Freed-Hardman run. And a chance for Jackson to turn it into a 3-point play. Free shot for Jaha Jackson. It's no good. So he'll have to settle for 2 on the play. It does snap that long scoring run for Freed-Hardman, and now they have to face taste of their own medicine as East-West puts on the full court press. The drive from J.J. Wheat, and Wheat loses the ball out of bounds. It'll stay with Freed-Hardman, deflected out by the Phantoms. Josh Atwood checks in for East-West. Lobbed inbounds for Peyton Law. Swung around, it's Fiddler. Here's Wheat from the corner. Along the baseline, cross court, 9 on the shot clock. Horton gives it up down low. That's Lane getting fouled and finishing at the rim. Strong finish from Geraldo Lane. And now to the line to try to keep the Lions' perfection shooting free throws alive. They're 8 for 8. The free throw is good. That was the 4th foul on East-West. I miscounted free throws. They're 7 of 7 now, not 9 of 9. Still pretty good. Still a 23-4 lead for Freed-Hardman. However you got those points is impressive. That's blocked from behind. Horton pushed ahead. Here's Lane shoveling back to Fiddler, and now the Lions slow things down a little bit. Fiddler to the left side, 3-pointer, J.J. Wheat on the money. Freed-Hardman is hitting everything early in this game, a 22-point lead. And a near steal for Phil Horton, but he's called for the foul. Knocked the ball away from Jaha Jackson, but got a little bit too much of his hand as well. Here's Tariq Roper in the backcourt. Roper working against Wheat, gets it across half court. Bounce to the free throw line where Atwood, or rather Jackson, is bumped. So another foul called against Jaha Jackson. He has drawn 3 of the 4 fouls called against Freed-Hardman, 2 on this possession alone. Roper will inbound. Jackson, nice fake, drives to his right, pulls up in the lane, has the ball knocked away. Fiddler picks it up. Fiddler over to J.J. Wheat. Wheat gets the screen to his left. Bounces to Horton, right back up top. Wheat wide open and misses this three-pointer. Really good look at it that time, doesn't go. Fiddler knocks the pass loose. Jackson scoops it up, can't finish at the rim. Now a fight for the loose ball, and it's knocked out of bounds. Last touched by Keanu Gordon of East West. It'll be Freed-Hardman possession, 11:46 to play. First half, 22-point lead already for the Lions. Hunter Skurlock is back in for Freed-Hardman. He'll inbound. Against East-West full court press, Fiddler is called for the travel. Looked like he tried a little fake pass before taking the dribble. And he tiptoed a little bit as he made that fake. So a turnover committed by Freed-Hardman. East-West has picked up the pressure defensively a little bit. Well, they've had a chance to get set. They've been solid, but they have not been able to get set much because they haven't been able to do anything on offense. A little floater for Tariq Roper misses. And McLaren takes it the other way for Freed-Hardman. Ahead to the Fiddler, and Chase Fiddler lays it in. Most of the points for Freed-Hardman have either come at the free throw line or in transition. East-West problem right now is they can't score. Problem that leads to that is they can't hold on to the basketball. A lot of turnovers have led to a lot of points. Trying to get a grip on things here. Roper passes to his left. It's Zach Patterson. 4 on the shot clock for Patterson. Weaves his way through traffic. Through the lane, no good. Rebound Freed-Hardman. Fiddler wings it to McLaren. Down to the corner, Tomlinson. Back outside. Here's Fiddler. Fiddler, deep 3. Way off. Rebound goes to the Phantoms. Tariq Roper on the move. Roper slows it down, passes into the corner. Works back outside. Roper's three-pointer is blocked by Fiddler. McLaren is there to grab the loose ball. McLaren lobs it outside. Fiddler into Skurlock. Wide open layup. Zach Patterson fell to the ground on defense, and so Skurlock had nobody to contest his shot. An easy deuce for him. And a timeout called by East-West. 10 straight points for Freed-Hardman with 10 minutes and 14 seconds remaining in the first half. It's 30-4. Freed-Hardman scored the first 2 points of the game from the free throw line. It was actually East-West who got the first field goal of the game. And Freed-Hardman responded with 18 consecutive points. After the Phantoms scored, the Lions have gone on another big run. 10 consecutive points now for them. So you know you're off to a good start in the game. When it's still the first half, you're in the midst of a 10-0 run, and that's not nearly your best of the game so far. Really good start today for Freed-Hardman. Not a huge surprise from a team that's been playing excellent basketball to start this season. Mentioned before, 5 consecutive wins. Most of them have been close. There was one big blowout in there. They beat Fisk at home by 41 points. But they have not been dominating opponents primarily this year. 10-2 record, top 15 team in the country, so obviously they come in with some very high expectations. But if you look at just their stat sheet, there's nothing that really jumps off the page at you as being overly impressive. They don't score a ton of points. They don't shoot the ball all that well from three-point range. They don't dominate rebounding battles. They do everything pretty well. They don't turn the ball over very much, only about 11 times per game. But they're good up and down, good offensively, good defensively. Today they've been great on both ends of the floor. The three-pointer misses from Tariq Roper, and the Lions take it the other way. Quan Lax has it stripped off his leg and out of bounds. It'll belong to the Phantoms. Again, not really having seen Freed-Hardman play, my scouting was mostly done by looking at their statistics game to game. The two things that stood out to me, number one, they do hold on to the basketball pretty well. They don't commit a lot of turnovers, and they shoot the ball extremely efficiently from inside the three-point arc. Here's Jahad Jackson, gets two men in the air, not able to finish though. Offensive rebound, they restart the possession. Three-pointer is blocked. Kobe San Juan turned away. Here's Quan Lax with a layup. Two more for Lax. It's a 12-0 run for Freed-Hardman. Knocked away by Skurlock out of bounds. It'll stay with East-West. Again, Freed-Hardman doesn't shoot the ball all that well from the outside, but close to 60% from inside the arc. Three-point attempt is way off from Jalen West. His first field goal attempt of the game. Nothing's going right now for East-West. Just 4 points, 11 minutes into the game. Here's Skurlock in traffic, able to score anyway. Three defenders around him. San Juan down to the corner and out of bounds. Josh Atwood stepped on the line. 30-point lead for Freed-Hardman. Still close to 9 minutes remaining in the first half. They're trying to make this one a laugher by the end of the first half. Knocked away from Tomlinson, stolen by East-West. San Juan lobs it ahead for Jahad Jackson, who throws it towards the rim and is fouled. So Jackson goes back to the free throw line. He's 0 for 1 on foul shots so far today. The only one taken by East-West thus far. And the first free throw misses. So the run is still alive for Freed-Hardman. They've scored 14 points in a row. East-West hasn't scored in about 6 minutes. And that drought is over. Jackson makes the second free throw, 34-5. Here's Tomlinson, passing off to Skurlock. Skurlock scoops it back outside. That's Fiddler for three in the corner, no good. Zach Patterson works quickly for East-West. And we've got a jump ball as Riley McLaren reached his hand in and forced the tie up. East-West has the possession arrow. 25 on the shot clock for them. And we've got a whistle, a foul on the inbounds play. This is called on Geraldo Lane. Here's Patterson on the drive. Patterson blocked inside. Phil Horton comes away with the stop. Now it's Lane on the offensive end for Freed-Hardman. Bounce to Horton. Horton drives to the left hand, blocked from behind by Josh Atwood, but a foul is called on Atwood. Two free throws for Horton. Freed-Hardman hasn't missed from the line yet. 8 of 8. Horton scores 7.5 per game for the Lions. He hits both free throws on this possession, 36-5. It's a 16-1 run for Freed-Hardman, although when you're up by 31 points, 36-5 is a pretty impressive run by itself. The individual components of that score maybe are not as impressive. San Juan misses the jumper, but Peyton Law can't grab the rebound. Deflects off his hands and out of bounds. Corner three-pointer is no good from Jackson. Rebound grabbed by J.J. Wheat. Wheat shovels it off underneath, and a nice strong finish by Geraldo Lane. Set up by the drive from J.J. Wheat. He just wasted no time. Penetrated that East-West defense. 38-5 is the score. Jackson, leaner, no good. Rebound grab by McLaren. McLaren gets it ahead to Law. Law to the cutting Wheat, and Wheat finishes with the layup. I wasn't sure that Peyton Law was even going to be able to get that pass off. He was walking a tightrope along the sideline. I don't know how he stayed in bounds, but he did. He kept the possession alive. And now it's a 35-point lead for Freed-Hardman. Three-pointer is off from Jalen West. East-West can't buy a basket right now. Inside Law, the alley-oop finished with two hands by Peyton Law. And it's a 37-point lead for the Lions. This is going about as well as they could have asked for. San Juan's pass deflected out of bounds. East-West, a traveling group of troubadours who picks up games wherever they could find them. They don't have a conference to play in, so you see them out here a lot in a lot of the other local Chicago schools. They don't have a formal athletics department. So going up against a top 15 team like Freed-Hardman, this is a real challenge for them, but it's been even more so, I think, than expected. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Jumper misses from Atwood, and it's a big part of the reason they just can't get anything to fall. The layup is good on the other end for Horton. Phil Horton finishes, and now a steal. Law jumps in front of the pass. Ahead for J.J. Wheat. Wheat gives it up to Law, and Law flushes it with a right hand. 41-point lead for Freed-Hardman. We're still in the first half. Jahad Jackson is fouled on the floor. East-West basketball team built up by Tommy Posley over the years. Again, East-West doesn't have a formal athletics department, so Posley's just kind of taking it upon himself to get people into the basketball program here at East-West, and the results are varied. Jackson misses the front end of the one-on-one. Some years are more competitive than others. This is a team that's put up some good fights against good teams over the years. So you don't expect a performance like this from them, even against a really good opponent like Freed-Hardman, as J.J. Wheat misses at the rim. Here comes Charlie Harris, off to San Juan. San Juan is tripped, and he'll go to the free throw line. East-West so far today is just 1 of 4 on free throws. But all of those have come from Jahad Jackson. This is Kobe San Juan's first trip to the line. Jabril Johnson is out on the floor for East-West, as is Kurt Shannon. San Juan makes the first, and so he'll get a second. Last 2 points for the Phantoms have come from the line. It's almost 10 minutes now since their last field goal. San Juan makes them both. He departs. Marco Brown comes in for him. Brown, Jackson, Johnson, Shannon, and Harris on the floor for the Phantoms. Horton, Lane, McLaren, Wheat, and Law for the Lions. Wheat around the screen from McLaren. Gives it back to Riley McLaren. Three-pointer, too strong. Fight for the rebound. Law's able to tip it to himself, keep it alive inside to Lane, and Lane is blocked by Jaha Jackson. Charlie Harris pulls up just outside the free throw line, misses the jumper. Rebound tipped into the hands of J.J. Wheat, and Wheat breaks the double team, gets across half court. Lob for Law, and this time not able to finish the alley-oop. Pass a little bit too far out in front of him. Ricochets off the backboard. Marco Brown for three is good. First bucket for East-West in over 10 minutes. And their first three-pointer of the game, it belongs to Marco Brown. Brown tried to take a charge. No foul called on Wheat. Keeps the dribble alive. Now it's knocked loose. Wheat gets it back. Out to Lane. Three-pointer. Rattles around, doesn't go. On the follow, Horton can't finish. Harris up to Brown. Down low, Jabril Johnson, double team. Johnson kicks it back outside. Brown on the drive. Marco Brown flips it up and in. How about Marco Brown? Just off the bench, 5 quick points for East-West. And a timeout called by Freed-Hardman with 3:39 to play in the first half. 46-12 is our score. A massive advantage for the Lions, who came into today's game averaging 78 points per game. They're on pace for well over 100 today, although that pace has slowed down considerably. They were over 30 points in the first 10 minutes of action. And what's happened more than anything is that East-West has been just a touch more careful with the basketball. And Freed-Hardman hasn't put on quite the same defensive pressure either after building up a 40-plus point lead in the first half. 7 straight points for the Phantoms. 5 of those came from Marco Brown off the bench. Should be ready to continue, waiting for the official to rejoin the floor. And now here we go. Quan Lax is the ball handler for Freed-Hardman. Brown puts on a little token pressure in the backcourt. Enters Skurlock, gives it up to Tomlinson. Lobbed back into a cutting Tomlinson from Lax. Not able to finish. Good defensive pressure from Jaha Jackson. Brown tries another deep shot. That time it was contested. No good. On the move, it's Lane ahead for Fiddler. Fiddler loses it. Deflected out of bounds by East-West. Tough break for the Phantoms. Fiddler went up, didn't have it poked away. He just dropped the ball essentially. But it deflected off of a Phantom. Here's Lax, and a whistle away from the ball. Foul called on East-West. It's only their 6th, so it will not result in free throws. That was on Jabril Johnson away from the basketball. Tomlinson, three-pointer in the corner, no good. Rebound grabbed by Jackson. Phantoms slow it down a bit. Drive from Charlie Harris. Harris out of control on his way to the rim, loses it. Loose ball picked up by Tomlinson. Lions have numbers. Skurlock gives it to Lane. Lane is pushed, and a foul called on Kurt Shannon. Geraldo Lane to the line. 75% foul shooter this year. He's got 2 of them coming his way. First shot misses. First miss from the line today for Freed-Hardman. The wheels are starting to come off. 34-point lead for the Lions. He makes that one as well. So they are 9 of 10, I think, on free throws today. Marco Brown across half court. Gives it to Charlie Harris. Off the hand of Jabril Johnson and out of bounds. Lax passes it off to Tomlinson. Skurlock bounces to the cutting Quan Lax. Layup no good. Rebound Johnson. Here come the Phantoms. Charlie Harris pulls up at the three-point line. Gives it to Marco Brown. Across to Kurt Shannon on the right. Under 2 minutes to play in the first half. East-West trying to make it a little bit more respectable going into the break. Brown gives it to Harris. Three-pointer for Charlie Harris with a hand in his face is no good. Rebound to Quan Lax. It's lobbed ahead for Devin Tomlinson. Tomlinson up with the left hand. No. Skurlock tries to follow. Tips the rebound over to Lane. Lane misses, and he's fouled on his second effort. Third effort of the possession. Second for Lane. After he missed the first one, he gets himself right back to the free throw line. 95 seconds to play in the half. Lane's played well here in the first half today. Averaging 13 a game on the season. Makes the lead 36. I think it's the second one as well. Cross half court. Jahad Jackson over to Kurt Shannon. Jackson hands it to Charlie Harris. 15 on the shot clock. Harris has it stripped by Skurlock, gets it back. Down to the baseline, picks up his dribble. He needs help. Harris can't find anybody. Finally gets it out to Marco Brown. Three-pointer. Air ball. It may have been blocked by Fiddler. Pass is sent ahead for Fiddler. Good look to Skurlock, who lays it in. Great ball movement on the break for the Lions. Hunter Skurlock has two more. Foul called on Skurlock. Nope, it's on Tomlinson, sorry. Skurlock was the one defending the ball, but it was Tomlinson underneath the basket. Called for using his body on Jabril Johnson. So this sends Johnson to the line. That's the 9th foul on Freed-Hardman. So still just a 1-and-1 for East-West. High arcing free throw misses off the back iron from Johnson. Freed-Hardman will take potentially their last possession of the half. And it's an impressive one. Lax lobs it up to Lane, who finishes the alley-oop. They likely will get the ball back one more time. Freed-Hardman has scored over 100 one time this year. They're on pace to do that again, eclipsing the 50-point mark in the first half. And a nice little drive there by Jahad Jackson with a strong finish at the rim. 53-14. Now they will hold on for the final shot. 10 seconds. Lax with 5 on the clock. Drives to his right all the way to the rim. Layup, no. Rebound Jackson. His full court heave falls short, and that's how the first half ends. What a half for Freed-Hardman. They just blitzed East-West out of the gate. They led by 41 points at one point. And it's 39 right now. 53-14 is our score at halftime. 15 minutes from now, we'll be back with second half action from the University of St. Francis. All Freed-Hardman here today, 53-14 at halftime. It's halftime here in Joliet at the University of St. Francis, where Freed-Hardman has dominated East-West through 20 minutes of basketball. Terry Bonadonna with you, getting ready for the second half of play. First half was pretty one-sided. You can see that just by taking a quick look at the scoreboard. Some of the stats from the first half will tell you how we got to this point. 12 turnovers committed by East-West led to 13 Freed-Hardman points. The Lions coughed it up only 4 times for their part. The big stat is shooting. East-West 16%, which is 5 of 31, 1 of 13 from beyond the arc. And granted, a lot of that has been because East-West has taken a lot of quick shots, a lot of low percentage shots. I guess low percentage goes without saying. They're 1 for 13 on 3-pointers, 16% overall. Freed-Hardman has actually not played their offensive game. They're shooting well below their season averages, just 45% overall, and 3 of 12 on 3-pointers. Second half is underway as Quan Lax receives the inbounds pass from Sam Powell, who's out there for the first time. Even with the huge lead, mostly the starters are still on the floor for Freed-Hardman, the one exception being Sam Powell, who just missed the 3. Individual leaders, Geraldo Lane's got 12 points for Freed-Hardman. Hunter Skurlock has 11 in just 10 minutes played. For East-West, both Jahad Jackson and Marco Brown have 5 points to lead the way. Charlie Harris is the inbounder for the Phantoms. He inbounds to Marco Brown. Brown lobs it back to Harris, who loses it. It's taken away. Riley McLaren gets the steal. Passed into a cutting Peyton Law, who lays it in. Biggest lead of the game for Freed-Hardman, 41 points. They were up at one point 46-5. East-West made a little run at the end of the first half to cut into that, but the lead is back up to 41 now. And another steal. Second in a row for McLaren. Riley McLaren has an uncontested layup. It's tough when you're down by 40-plus points, but nobody on the East-West defense even chased down that play. And another turnover as Charlie Harris throws it out of bounds. Again, it's easy to get disheartened when you're down 40-plus. But that's part of the reason you get to that point, when players aren't hustling on the floor. Here's Powell, hand off to McLaren. McLaren tries the 3, and it's good. 60-14. So Freed-Hardman has started this second half about as well as they started the first half. Jahad Jackson passes back to Charlie Harris. Harris hands it off to Marco Brown, who loses it out of bounds. That was knocked out by the Lions. Brown took a hard fall. It looked like he got his shoulder off the metal steps of the bleachers. He'll stay in the game. That looked awfully uncomfortable the way he fell. But he's good enough to keep at it. Jackson spins, passes over to Brown. Brown, a little floater is good. Nice touch from Marco Brown. Took the tough fall to the shoulder, stayed in the game, and he now has 7 points. Here's Devin Tomlinson for 3. That's good. Tomlinson's first field goal, he had been 0 for 5. 4 points from the free throw line, though, so he's got 7 now for the game. We've got a jump ball and a possession arrow. We'll keep it with East-West. 63-16 is our score. Game 1 of 2 this weekend for both of these teams. Freed-Hardman will have the early time slot tomorrow as they take on the hosts. Jabril Johnson gets the pass inside, and he's fouled. East-West will play at the same time tomorrow. They're playing today. They'll take on Campbellsville, who won on a last-second three-pointer earlier this afternoon. The Mid-South Conference trying to go 2-0 on the day. Campbellsville and Freed-Hardman will not see each other this week, but they'll get their chances later in the year. A couple of good-looking teams down south, mid-south. Kentucky and Tennessee. I've always thought of Tennessee as the South and Kentucky as Midwest, but they're both kind of on the borderline there. Jabril Johnson misses the second free throw. So he gets one, 63-17, 17 and a half minutes to play. McLaren, uncontested three, is short. Rebound tipped around and ultimately grabbed by Ashraf Yakubu. Yakubu started today but played only 6 minutes in the first half. This is his first rebound of the game. Loose ball grabbed by Marco Brown. Another floater from Brown is good. Brown likes those little teardrop shots. He's hit 2 of them in a row. 9 points for Marco Brown. McLaren is stripped and fouled going up. So Riley McLaren goes to the line. McLaren scores 12 points a game. He has not missed a free throw yet this year. Freed-Hardman has only missed 1 free throw today. First one is good. So the Lions are 13 of 14 today. And McLaren is now 12 of 12 this season. He stays perfect. 46-point lead, Freed-Hardman. Ranked number 11 in the country. Yeah, the most recent NAIA poll. Jaha Jackson is fouled on the floor. Freed-Hardman's women's program has long been one of the best in the country. Their men's program has had a nice stretch in recent years. To the round of 16 at the national tournament last year. They've got their sights set on bigger goals this season. Brown steps on the baseline. It's an East-West turnover. Juan Lax across half court. Tomlinson gives it back to Lax. Lax for 3. No. Rebounded by Jaha Jackson. East-West has shown a little bit more offensive prowess in this second half and a little bit late in the first half as well, as Jabril Johnson is called for the offensive foul. Refuting my point even as I'm still in the middle of it. But they managed just 5 points in the first 15 minutes of the game. Really the main difference has been the insertion of Marco Brown into the lineup. Brown has 9 points today in just 9 minutes played. Three-pointer is no good, and the rebound goes to Johnson. But the rest of the team has scored just 10 points in 14 minutes. Turnaround for Charlie Harris is good. A wild shot from Harris, but he got it. 65-21. Charlie Harris has his first field goal of the game. Jabril Johnson is called for a foul. He was guarding Devin Tomlinson and then just lost his footing, fell to the ground as he was falling. He grabbed at Tomlinson for balance, I think. And he's called for the foul. Subs for Freed-Hardman. Geraldo Lane is back in. Chase Fiddler, Phil Horton, and J.J. Wheat. And who knows, we still have over 15 minutes to play in this game, but that could be the last time we see the Freed-Hardman starters today. Still a couple of players remaining on the bench that we have not seen in this one for them. They used 9 players in the first half. And they brought Sam Powell out there to start the second half, so we've seen 10 different players for the Lions. think Jabril Johnson may have just fouled out. Took a while to get him for it, but I believe that was his 5th foul. So he's out of the game now. Vashawn Davis is back in. Vashawn Daniels, rather. Chase Fiddler drives, layup no, follow misses from Powell, 3rd effort is good. Sam Powell on his 2nd chance and the team's 3rd of the possession. Knocks it in to make it a 46-point lead. Charlie Harris, high arcer, no good. Offensive rebound, Daniels. Here's Brown, another floater from Brown. This time it does not fall off the front of the rim. Here comes J.J. Wheat streaking down the floor. He's fouled. Marco Brown over pursued on the initial pass to Wheat, and that left a huge opening for Wheat. He turned on the Jets at the last instant, got himself to the free throw line. First free throws of the game for Wheat. He's got 5 points. There's number 6. For all the things they do well, Freed-Hardman is not a dominant free throw shooting team, just under 70% on the season coming in. But they have been dominant today. 16 of 17 shooting free throws. Here's Daniels in the corner. Vashawn Daniels looking for help, trying to get it to Jahad Jackson. It's knocked out of bounds, and Jackson was the last one to touch it. J.J. Wheat walks around the three-point line. Gives it up to Horton. Here's Fiddler. A drive from Wheat. He splits the defense and lays it in off the glass. Nice drive from J.J. Wheat. Here's Jahad Jackson, gives it up inside and knocked out. He's trying to get it to Ashraf Yakubu, but deflected out by Freed-Hardman. Yakubu checks out. And Keanu Gordon is back on the floor for the Phantoms. Timeout called by Freed-Hardman. 30-second timeout, exactly 14 minutes to play in this game. And the Lions have a 50-point lead, 71-21. Their season high in points scored, and also their largest margin of victory this year came in the same game back on November 2nd. In their home opener, they beat Reinhardt 103-59. So they are on pace to blow away both of those numbers today. Both the 44-point win as the largest margin and 103 as their highest point total. They need just 32 more points. They've already scored almost 20 points since halftime in just 6 minutes. It's really been an impressive showing today for Freed-Hardman, and I know that East-West is a team that was struggling coming in. Seen them a few times this year already over here. That ball's knocked out of bounds by Freed-Hardman. It stays with East-West. It's a team that typically gets rebuilt from year to year. A lot of new talent for Tommy Posley each season. There's a lot of adjustments. You never exactly know what the quality of play is going to be as Brown is blocked. Gets it back, flips it out to Jackson. 4 on the shot clock for Charlie Harris. Deep three, no good. Pushed ahead by Freed-Hardman. Wheat off the pass from Fiddler, lays it in. But even so, with all of the problems that East-West has had, Freed-Hardman has taken this game seriously at every second, and they have put together a really good performance, especially considering that early on, they didn't shoot the ball as well as they usually do. Foul is called on the drive from Charlie Harris. This is going to be on the floor. It's called on J.J. Wheat. I don't care what the circumstances of the game are. You got a 52-point lead, 27 minutes in. You're playing pretty well. Charlie Harris passes off to Marco Brown. Brown pull up for two. Good. Marco Brown's been the hot shooter all game. He's the first Phantom in double figures. 11 points for Brown. Phil Horton gets the pass inside. Misses the shot, and it's rebounded by East West. Harris traveled. A little indecision that time from Charlie Harris. Wasn't exactly sure where he wanted to go with that ball, and it cost him. Good crossover from J.J. Wheat. Runs into traffic though, has to back it out. Fiddler, corner three, good. Fiddler makes it a 53-point game, biggest lead yet for Freed-Hardman. Brown out of control that time. Marco Brown's been a nice spark for East-West, but he really had no shot on that possession. Taken away by Jackson, a sloppy pass. Charlie Harris on the other end. Harris scores and one. Fouled by Sam Powell on his way to the basket. East-West gives Freed-Hardman a taste of their own medicine. That's what the Lions did all first half. Steals turned into fast breaks. The Lions will bring their starters back in. So the starting unit not done just yet for Drew Stutz's team. Free throw misses from Harris. Just 3 of 8 from the line today. That's the Phantoms number. Tomlinson pushes it across to Law. Peyton Law finds Fiddler. Fiddler backs it up. Back up top, Law. Law fakes right, drives left, comes up short. Offensive rebound, Quan Lax. Lax drives, kicks. Tomlinson for three. Short. Another offensive rebound. It's Peyton Law this time. Lax not able to finish inside. 3 opportunities on that possession for the Lions, and they're not able to get anything out of them. Tomlinson knocks it away from Brown out of bounds. It'll stay with East-West. Seconds on the shot clock for the Phantoms. It's Marco Brown setting things up. Brown leads the team with 11 points today. Here's Harris. Harris working against Law, creates some space. Turnaround jumper, no good. Rebound Tomlinson. Fiddler's pass nearly taken away, but it finds McLaren. Tomlinson back to McLaren on the wing. Gets the screen. Good ball movement out to the corner. It's a 3-point attempt for Quan Lax. That misses. Nothing's falling right now for Freed-Hardman. East-West trying to make a run out of it. Jackson goes up for the dunk but misses. And it's out of bounds on East-West. McLaren gets the screen. Gives it to Tomlinson. Quan Lax down low to Peyton Law. Law turnaround off the backboard. Doesn't get the roll. Rebound tipped over to Harris. Freed-Hardman stays quiet offensively. Harris loses the ball. Lions take it away. Now numbers for Freed-Hardman. Quan Lax gives it up to Devin Tomlinson. A wide open layup. And that one finally does go for them. You're up by 50. You're not really thinking about it so much when you go cold offensively, but that was probably the worst spell of the game for the Lions in terms of shooting percentage these last couple of minutes. But once again, they turn it around on a turnover. With the easy bucket. See if that gets them into a little bit more of a rhythm. Jackson is fouled. That's on the floor. It is number 6 on Freed-Hardman. So the next one will send East-West to the free throw line. Just under 10 minutes remaining in this game. East West at one point trailed 46-5. They've acquitted themselves well since then, although not there. It's intercepted by Quan Lax. Here's Fiddler all the way into Powell, and Powell lays it in. Nice find by Chase Fiddler. Freed-Hardman is getting contributions up and down the lineup. They've played 10 different guys today. All 10 of them have scored. Foul away from the ball. That's on the defense, and that means free throws here for East West. At least one free throw. It is the 7th foul on Freed-Hardman. One and one for Keanu Gordon. And the first foul shot is good, meaning he gets to stay on the line and take one more. Gordon goes 2 for 2. Free throws have been lacking for East West today, so that's a good sign for them. Look for small victories at this stage of the game as Gordon is called for the foul on Lax. Just the 4th on East West, so no free throws here. This one has long seemed out of reach for the Phantoms. So for them, the issue that remains is what can we take away as a positive out of this game? They'll put a bookmark in every nice play that they have down the stretch. Meanwhile, for Freed-Hardman, just trying to work on what they're trying to work on right now. As Fiddler gives the ball up. Trying to work on not doing that maybe. Jahad Jackson bounces it to the cutter, and it's off his hands and out of bounds. It's Jalen West, the intended target on that pass. So you know you've got this one probably well in hand, so if you're Freed-Hardman, that is. Fiddler goes in for the layup. So you're just looking to clean up any weaknesses that you might have going into tomorrow's game, which will surely be a little bit more of a challenge. St. Francis will be out for blood tomorrow afternoon after the Fighting Saints suffered a devastating one-point loss earlier today. It's off the hands of Devin Tomlinson and out of bounds. We're going the other way. The other thing you can do if you're East-West, just try to finish strong and carry a little momentum into tomorrow's game. Allow yourselves to leave with something to smile about, because tomorrow's not going to be a lot easier. Another very tough opponent. West gives it up top to Brown. Brown drives, kicks. West was cutting, so they ended up standing right next to each other at the time of the pass, and Jalen West is fouled. So once again, the starters depart for Freed-Hardman, and for the second time, I will wonder aloud if that's the last we've seen of them today. Quan Lax is out, Devin Tomlinson is out. Actually, I think those are the only two starters who are leaving. Fiddler departs as well. McLaren is still on the floor, though. Fiddler wasn't a starter, which is why I didn't mention his name initially. Powell is still out there. Horton is in now. First time we've seen Geraldo Lane here in the second half. Second free throw misses. J.J. Wheat is back in. Long 2 for Marco Brown. Wanted a three-pointer out of it. His toes were on the line. But Brown's got 13. Good possession for East-West. J.J. Wheat all the way in. Wheat has done that a couple of times tonight. Very impressive. Brown has it poked away. A steal from Wheat. Wheat is wrapped up. Not quite able to finish. Kurt Shannon is called for the intentional foul. That would have been something if that shot had gone in, because Shannon essentially wrapped him up in a hug and spun him around, and as Wheat was spinning, he just threw the ball in the direction of the basket, and it almost went in off the backboard. He will get 2 shots and the ball back here. Imagine if he had made the shot and got one and the ball back. First one is good for Wheat. Lions continue to be king on the free throw line. 2 of 2 for Wheat. So 2 points already on the board on this possession. Freed-Hardman can add more to it. Leading by 56. Layup is good for Phil Horton, so it's a 4-point possession. 58-point game now. Freed-Hardman on top. Zach Patterson is back on the floor for East West. We haven't seen a lot of him lately after he started the game as point guard. Jumper is good. That's one positive for East West. Their offense has come around. They've already outscored their first half total here in the second as Lane is fouled and finishes. East West scored just 14 in the first half. We've already got 18 here in the second half with 7:15 still to play. Free throw for Lane to try to make this a 3-point play. Lane is the only one to have missed a free throw today for Freed-Hardman. Now he's done it twice. He's 4 of 6 at the line. Jalen West has it poked away. Ball loose on the floor, and McLaren comes up with it. Bad pass from Freed-Hardman. Now the ball is loose, and Wheat is able to grab it. So twice on this possession already. Freed-Hardman able to dodge a bullet with possession. Sam Powell misses the 3. Patterson over to Brown on the right. Brown crossover, pull-up jumper, good. That has been one hot shooter today. Marco Brown, 15 now. And a sloppy foul called on Jaha Jackson. One and one for J.J. Wheat. Well, the first one misses. So after making 16 of their first 17 free throws, they've missed 2 in a row. One of them, the front end of a 1-and-1. Brown, the hot shooter, not this time. Blocked by Phil Horton. East West gets another chance at it. Patterson dishes inside. Back out to Jalen West, who drills the 3. We did not see a lot of that in the first half. Shots just were not falling. Now they are. Horton can't finish. Horton gets his own rebound, and this time he does finish. 82-37, under 6 minutes to play. Step back 3, Jaha Jackson, no good. Tough sledding today for Jackson. Long three-pointer for Phil Horton is good. With a 50-plus point lead late in the game. I don't know that you'd expect your non-shooters to take a shot from that deep. But Horton thought he had it. And he was right on the mark. So was Marco Brown right there. I should say, Phil Horton is not one of the non-shooters for Freed-Hardman. Not a shooting team generally, but he's one of the better ones typically. As Fiddler misses that three-pointer, Jackson on the other end is fouled going up for the layup. As a team, Freed-Hardman makes less than 30% of their three-pointers. Part of that is because the guy who is their top three-point shooter, Riley McLaren, has been out for much of the year. McLaren started today, and we saw what kind of shooting touch he had. Good day for him. Jaha Jackson makes the first free throw. Keanu Gordon departs. Josh Atwood is back in. Just under 5 minutes left in this game. And Jackson adds 2 to his point total. Here's Wheat, crossover to the right. Wheat drives, Wheat lays it up and in. He has done that exceptionally well today. Splitting defenses and getting his body to the rim. Zach Patterson is fouled. So both teams are starting to commit a lot of fouls. We're getting more and more free throws as this game goes on, and it's one more chance for East-West to pad their scoring totals. They only had 14 points in the first half. They've made it very respectable, though, of an offensive performance. The first free throw misses. Not anywhere near where they'd like it to be, but respectable just the same. Second shot for Patterson is good. He makes one of two. 97-43. Nearly taken away. Wheat holds on to it. Here's Wheat again. Guarded a good distance from the basket by Zach Patterson. Horton down to Fiddler in the corner. Fiddler's three is good, and there's the century mark for Freed-Hardman. Second time this year they've hit it. 100-43 East-West. Pass is intercepted down low. Patterson was trying to find West. Instead, Sam Powell took it away. Ahead for Lane, who's stripped. Horton gets it back. Horton scores and a foul. Lane initially looked flummoxed that a foul wasn't called on his shot. Turned out for the best for Freed-Hardman. Not only do they have a guy going to the line, but they also were able to put 2 points on the board there. Horton's free throw makes it a 3-point game. Or 3-point play, 60-point game. Bit of a difference. 103-43. Freed-Hardman has matched their season high in scoring. Brown puts the ball between his legs a few times. Starts to make a move, has nowhere to go. Out to Jalen West. Shot clock is at 10. West drives. West pushes it towards the hoop. No good. Rebound saved by Jackson, but right to Sam Powell. Here come the Lions. Fiddler lobs it for Horton. No good. Second chance. Lane is good. Would have been the third made alley-oop of the game. But Horton wasn't able to finish to the rim. Still turns into 2 for Freed-Hardman. That's 3 for East-West. And who else would it be but Marco Brown? Brown's had a huge game today. Played sparing minutes in the first half. But he's been so good ever since that he's been out there the entire second half. Foul is called this time on Brown. And it sends Geraldo Lane to the free throw line. Lane's first free throw, it's good. One more for him. And that's good as well. Got the friendly roll. Under 3 minutes to play, 61-point game. Marco Brown to make it 58, short on this three-pointer. Freed-Hardman gets the rebound. It's J.J. Wheat. Wheat passes outside. Phil Horton for 3, good. 2 in a row for Phil Horton, both from long range. Freed-Hardman continues to pour it on. They scored 53 in the first half. They've already got 57 points in this second half. Zach Patterson passes to Marco Brown. Brown back and forth, stripped, gets it back. Gives it to Jalen West. West can't connect. Rebound Lions. No look pass is out of bounds from J.J. Wheat. That's why most guys usually look when they throw their passes. I like to confirm that there's somebody there, preferably a teammate. Brown gets the screen to his left. Passes to his right. Jalen West, three-pointer. Grazes the side of the rim. Here's Fiddler. Ahead for Lane. Lane's layup is good. And it's a 66-point game. We got here quickly. Quick three-pointer, way off from Jalen West, who has not taken the wisest shots the last few times he's touched the ball. Freed-Hardman wants to run a little clock here. They can get it down to under 1 minute by the next time East-West touches it. Sam Powell fakes the three, drives. Powell is stripped out of bounds by Zach Patterson. 8 on the shot clock as Kobe San Juan checks in for East-West. Jalen West leaves. Fiddler misses the three. Another rebound for East-West. Kobe San Juan takes it the other side. And Marco Brown steps out of bounds. So Freed-Hardman now with under a minute on the clock will likely try to run some more time off. We got probably their last shot of the game on this possession, I would think. Three-pointer for Chase Fiddler. If that is their last shot, it's an impressive exclamation point. Three-pointer for Fiddler. Makes it 115-46. There's a jumper for Josh Atwood. Quick shot for East-West. That means the shot clock is still on for Freed-Hardman. They will likely have to get one more up here. They don't have to. They can let the shot clock expire if they want. It looks like they might do that. Now East-West is challenging defensively, so Wheat will make his move. Between two defenders, Wheat lays it up and in. It's a 71-point game, and East-West try to get one more off, or will they? They might just dribble it out now. Marco Brown does technically have to get it across half court, and he'll fire a half-court shot. No, not concerned with his field goal percentage anyway. Marco Brown had a great game for East-West, their best player today. Not nearly enough to take out the 11th-rated Lions of Freed-Hardman University. Freed-Hardman wins it 117-46. A very impressive showing for the Lions. Dominant from start to finish. They scored the first 2 points. East-West tied it up at 2. And then Freed-Hardman scored the next 18 points. And that was all she wrote in terms of the game ever being close again. An easy win for the Lions today. Probably will not be quite as easy tomorrow. They'll have a challenge tomorrow afternoon from St. Francis, who fell to their conference rivals Campbellsville today 67-66 on a last-second three-pointer. So St. Francis will be gunning for vengeance tomorrow. Freed-Hardman will try to make it a perfect week. 1 o'clock Central Time tomorrow afternoon. Freed-Hardman will try to make it 2 in a row after as good a victory here today as they'll have all season. 117-46, the final score. East-West is back at it tomorrow afternoon as well, 3 o'clock Central Time. They'll try to bounce back, and even if they don't win tomorrow afternoon, they'd like to put up a little bit more of a competitive showing. 3 o'clock start time tomorrow against Campbellsville University, and that one obviously is subject to game 1 that runs a little bit long, and that game will start a little bit late. So doubleheader tomorrow, St. Francis and Freed-Hardman, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, East-West and Campbellsville. One final time, our score in this one, Freed-Hardman 117, East-West 46. That'll do it for today's broadcasts. Until tomorrow, this is Terry Bonadonna signing off from the University of St. Francis. Have a good evening.